Good evening, everyone. My name is architect Kritika Juneja. I am the associate editor of Ace Update magazine, and I welcome you all to the online interaction on building envelopes serving purpose beyond aesthetic. We are blessed with the following experts on our speaker panel today: architect Hrishikesh More from Hrishikesh More Associates, Harish Gupta from Habitat and Skins, and Mr. Binoy Kumar Das from Facade Concept Design Group. First question is to Mr. Harish. How important is a building's facade in adding character and personality while also protecting it from the external influences?
Well, as you just saw from the previous presentation, there are various types of facade design, and facade is a material where people are not repeating their designs because there is so much variety and so much of variation that you can do that people like to have something unique, and the facade elements give it that flexibility where you can combine various things, various forms, various materials to give a unique character to the building. At the same time, that same thing, that same facade has to perform. So you have to have a proper design, have to have done the proper analysis and the tests to ensure that whatever is designed functions later on.
Right. Thank you for sharing your views. My next question is to Mr. Binoy. What's your take on glass facades? Like, can we consider them energy efficient in the Indian context?
Yes, because now most of the modern buildings are with the glass facade because glass can play with a different shape into the building to meet the architectural intent. As I said that, okay, we can meet, the performance of the glass will, as I said in the presentation on that is very important to for us or to analyze the performance of the glass. So the analytical performance of the glass will depends on certain climate factors. Some, like the the climatic conditions. So all collectively need to be studied along with the heat load calculation. Then only we can have a better performance of the glass. It doesn't mean that straight away just put in there are different kind of glass, just single loy, double loy, triple loy glass. So these different categories of loy define a high performance factors. But sometimes without understanding the building, the behavior, it is very hard to define that which glass to be used. That is why these analyses are very important to understand whether we want double silver or we want triple silver, we want single silver. That all will define the category. Yes.
Very. Would you like to add something on the same, Mr. Harish? Would you like to add something on the same?
Yeah, see, actually, primarily Indian context, I mean, like it's a tropical region, but then if you go up north, you have a very different kind of environment. So the facades have to be designed as per the location of the project. So you would design a project different way down in south, and you would design it slightly different if you're somewhere in Mumbai. But then at the same time, if you are in Rajasthan or you are going up further north where it is a little more cold, you will design the facade in a different manner. So it is not that the facades will not relate to the Indian conditions. You have to design it in the manner that it will relate to the location of the project. And because facade is a very versatile material, so you don't have to wrap it around entirely with the glass. So you can use glass judiciously where you need the glass to perform. You select a particular type of glass where you need natural ventilation to come in. You can introduce that in a different manner. So it's all depending on the architect and his understanding of the facade materials and the performance of the facade that actually makes the project vibrant. So it's very important that the architect is very well aware, or at least what he can do is get the facade consultant very early on onto the project so that the facade consultant also can give his inputs.
Right, sir. Good to hear your views. My next question is to Mr. Hrishikesh More. So, a building's facade could be made more energy efficient by using the right materials, I guess. What are the best materials to use when designing a facade for a residence or a commercial building?
For residential building, if I would say the material, you cannot fix one material. As Sir said, Harish said, on a building design in south of India would be different than the building design in the northern part of the India. So every locality or every area has its own set of materials which are locally available, which can be locally sourced, which is easily available on site. That can also add as a material on facade, and that of course gives a more look like a it merges your structure with the traditional architecture also.
Right, very true, sir. I have one more question from Mr. Harish. In areas where we need to deflect sunlight and keep the indoors cool, what design measures should be taken in terms of creating a building envelope?
So see, glass is one element that will control the heat intensity and the light. But then you can add a second layer, a second skin, in the form of lures or some kind of a jali, or you can even integrate screen printing onto the glass. So the jali gets integrated onto the glass itself. So the idea is basically, if you have a very high intensity sun on particular side, then you need to control it, because in the olden days we used to have chhajjas and shades. Now they are still there, but people done away from the old traditional architecture of arches and chhajjas. Now they are implementing the facade. So in the facade, we have various designs where these kind of elements are integrated. But then what happens is, because they have certain limitations of how much they can control. So you can treat the glass in a different manner. You can even have something which is dynamic and opens and closes as per the sunlight. So that's a completely a mechanical kind of a facade, where the second skin actually moves. The first skin becomes stationary. So it moves to allow more light to come in or to control the light. So various combinations can be done as far as deflecting the sun's heat and light is concerned.
Right. Mr. Binoy, would you like to add something to the same?
For the energy to get the right glasses facade, okay, now glass, I agree that there is that glass is not only the glass is fully should be enveloped in the building, but yes, for now there are different kind of glass available. It again said when you go through the studies onto the building analysis. So to control with the glare, so the glass with aesthetic fins outside the fins can control the direction of the fin, maybe perpendicular direction, or it can be designed with respect to the sun path direction. So these will all bring it to the saving on the energy to control the heat load. Allow the maximum, as I said in the previously also, that mostly the modern concept on the facade, whether it's a fully glass facade or maybe another materials comes in, but people always like to have a maximum daylight to come into the building, cut the heat load. The benefit of maximum daylight to come in is that we can control the artificial light, so we can save again electricity, we can energy savings over there. So different factors it's related to that. And as I said, in our experience into currently what we are doing on the high-rise structures, yes, glass can bring a lot of control on the solar control, so the different types of the glass can be used, but we cannot blindly use just that type of the glass. We have to analyze, we have to investigate the project. It said if it is in the coastal areas where near to sea, there are a lot of climatic condition apply, where you have a lot of salt, moistures. We use the glass with double glass to check that there should not be any condensation effect within the glass. So a lot of climate analysis are factors in designing the facade. Yes.
Right, of course. We need to use glass judiciously wherever required. Mr. More, would you also like to add something to the same?
Yes, as sir said, glass is also important. Glass is an important integral part to allow light and selecting the glass, double layered glass. So in our residential projects also, some of the windows which we are using are double layered glass, so that the heat gain is taken care of, because we have larger openings to allow cross ventilation. We have shaded those windows with larger overhangs, but still to cut down the ambient heat, we have taken the double layered glass for the windows.
Right, very true. So I have one more question for you. What kind of waterproofing membranes and substrates should be used to ensure facades are leak-proof? Likewise, what kind of additional maintenance is desired?
Additional maintenance, I would say waterproofing, membrane waterproofings, or a cladding, a dry cladding can also act like a buffer for these, for rains or for waterproofing like that.
Right. Thank you for your views. It was a very informative presentation from everyone, and it was a privilege for me to host this discussion. Since the time is running short for closing, I request Anshul to conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's topic, building envelopes serving purposes beyond aesthetic. We hope you have enjoyed it. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Harish, Mr. Binoy, and Mr. Hrishikesh. For viewers who have joined us today, we would like your feedback and encourage you to stay connected with us via our social media handles. ACE Update is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. We also request our viewers to stay tuned for future interaction. With that, today's interaction has now come to a close. Thank you and goodbye.